Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rekt Capital and welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for joining me in today's video about Bitcoin and will we ever really revisit 20,000 ever again? Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future and let's dive right in. So let's have a look at previous all-time highs and what has happened upon breaking those old all-time highs. So let's start off with this cycle right over here. Nice U-shaped reversal, roughly speaking, and breaking past this resistance over here has enabled a uptrend to new highs. So no pulling back to retest this level as a support before going forward. It just broke past it as a resistance and it just never looked back. That's it. Let's have a look at this resistance over here. You can see that once we rejected from the top of this cycle here, this resistance was definitely a more formidable one than before, rejecting price for a few months in a row, but ultimately giving way, breaking, and then a rally to new all-time highs. No retest whatsoever, just a break past this region, cleanly, no pullback, no dip whatsoever, to new all-time highs. To 20,000. That's it, really. Let's have a look at this old all-time high here. It looks like it's going to be a very short video, but I'm going to give you guys a bit more of my thoughts about this. This is the old all-time high here on the monthly chart, and you can see that the candle bodies here are the all-time highs that I'm bearing in mind, because they're on the monthly scale. And you can see that the top of these candle bodies is around 13,900. So in June 2019, picture perfect rejection from here because this was a higher time frame resistance. So if you focus on these higher time frame candle bodies, you can see that this is a resistance here, breakout, but once again, no pullback, no dip, no retest attempt, just rallying to new all-time highs. And that's also just it. But that's the candle body analysis, right? Let's focus on the wicking analysis to the actual old all-time highs, apologies. Does that change the complexion of this analysis in any way? Let's have a look here. This is the top of the wick, and in fact, here in this cycle, yes, indeed, you have a monthly candle close followed by a retest attempt to rally to new all-time highs. So monthly candle closes tend to showcase breakouts with no real retests, but if we focus on this through the lens of upside wicks, that old all-time high is retested into a new support before rallying to new all-time highs and never looking back. Here in this case, we didn't really see a wick, so we can't really analyze this differently. So just a clean breakout, no retest. Let's have a look here for 20,000 right over here. Perfect, look at that. Candle close maybe just above the old all-time highs of 20,000, followed by a retest attempt, which was fantastic, and then new all-time highs. So here's the takeaway, guys. If we focus on the monthly time frame and candle closes, they're really useful in trying to understand potential rejection points, especially, for instance, here. If we saw rejection here, and then we saw another rally to 13,900, that is a major resistance to watch out for. So understandably, we got a rejection here for a macro reaccumulation time in Bitcoin's price action during this year of 2019. In any case, if we focus on the wicking, the top of the wicks, they tend to be retested as a support before rallying to new all-time highs. So it does depend on what analysis you really want to focus on. But the thing here is that those retests tend to occur immediately after breakout. And then you never really see price return for those retests. Same thing here. Price has broken out, retested, and rallied to new all-time highs. So it's very likely, based on the standards of history, that Bitcoin will never revisit 20,000 as a support again. Now here's something I want to just pay attention to, just to be a bit more critical about that analysis, because we do have a mid-cycle correction here in 2013. So if we focus on the top of this mid-cycle correction, in the bear market after the actual peak of this 2013 cycle, so the first half of the cycle, mid-cycle correction, and then the peak of the entire cycle, we have a bear market where we almost reach the top of this mid-cycle correction. And if we take the top of this wick here, then we even deviate below it, in fact. So for mid-cycle corrections, maybe there is a bit of a different takeaway here. The top of this mid-cycle correction could be revisited as a support, as it was in the case in 2013, or at least in the bear market of 2014-2015. So how can we propagate this going forward? Well, we see here for a mid-cycle, this being the mid-cycle top, 65,000, wherever Bitcoin rallies towards the upside, and mind you, this additional mid-cycle analysis just showcases to us how 20,000 is very unlikely. But this mid-cycle correction of 2013 gives us some insight that 65,000 may be retested as a support. Once we peak wherever we might peak for Bitcoin later down the line in this cycle. So Bitcoin will recover, break out to new all-time highs, and end the bear market that follows from wherever we peak. The bear market that follows will see Bitcoin get closer to 65,000, according to this very quick mid-cycle analysis, because in 2013, the mid-cycle top on the monthly scale in terms of the candle body, that was approximately the bottom of the bear market for Bitcoin. But the top of the wicking mid-cycle peak before the mid-cycle correction, that's approximately where we actually picture perfect bottomed. Of course, we don't really have a wick here, so we just have to generally think of 65,000 not necessarily as a potential bottom, because by standards of history, we're not going to contact that bottom picture perfect necessarily, as we've seen over here. But if we propagate this recurring tendency historically, then 65,000 should be at least close to the bottom. Maybe the bottom will be 70,000 in a bear market correction, and that bottom will probably occur in the next few years, 2023, 2024 even, who knows at this point in time, because this cycle hasn't ended. But in any case, those are my thoughts. Bitcoin, will it ever reach 20,000 again? Highly unlikely based on this analysis and based on what we see, historically speaking. But based on this mid-cycle analysis here, should this indeed be a mid-cycle correction for Bitcoin in 2021, and at the moment, things are definitely looking to be that way. If we see a breakout to new all-time highs, this mid-cycle correction gives us an idea that the 65K region could be close to a bottom, but not necessarily a bottom in of itself. In any case, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this going forward. If you liked the video, please leave a like. It would mean a lot to me. I'm Rekt Capital. Thanks so much for tuning in today's video, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Speak to you soon.